Like, what the fuck is going on? How many guys were on video saying, ain't no party like a Diddy party?
LeBron?
Oh, hey, everybody know ain't no party like a Diddy party, so.
Yeah, that's what's up. Yeah.
Yeah, how about Ashton Kutcher?
Diddy party stories. Man, that was like some weird memory lane.
All these people, like, you guys all went, you didn't see nothing?
Yeah.
Donnell went? Yeah. Did he? Of course he did. And then Dave's there too, and then Russell Simmons too. Oh boy.
Isn't there a video with Kamala?
She was at one of the Diddy parties?
Isn't she in the background with...
It might have been the difference between Diddy parties and freak-offs. Oh my God.
Let's get into it, because Joe Rogan just lit a match under one of Hollywood's darkest rumors, and the fire might be way bigger than anyone expected. We already know Diddy been making headlines lately with lawsuits, raids, and accusations that keep getting more explosive. But now Rogan, the king of podcasts, just stepped in the mix, saying the quiet part out loud. If Diddy starts talking, the whole industry might collapse. And he ain't joking. According to Rogan and a whole bunch of folks online, there's a real fear that Diddy got too many secrets. And if he flips, it's game over for a lot of big names. Now, Joe Rogan don't usually move like that. He's not TMZ, he's not academics. But when he speaks, people listen, because he got reach. He brought up how crazy it is that Diddy's crib got raided by Homeland Security, not local police. That's federal level heat. And the timing? Right after Cassie's lawsuit. Right after Jaguar rights started spilling. Right after old clips started resurfacing that make people go, wait, what was really going on back then? This ain't just gossip. Rogan says this might be one of the biggest takedowns in entertainment history. What really shook folks up, though, was Rogan suggesting this ain't just about Diddy, it's about everyone connected to him. That's where the domino effect comes in. Because Diddy never moved alone. His parties, his power plays, his reach, it pulled in everybody, from rappers to actors to moguls. And now the question is, who's going down with him? First name people started whispering, Steve Harvey, the man known for suits, jokes, and Sunday church vibes. But now folks online are pointing out some real suspect behavior. The moment Diddy got hit with them federal raids, Steve hopped on a jet and flew out the country. Quiet, no explanation, just dipped. Then fans noticed he deleted old tweets where he was shouting out Diddy with love. On top of that, folks started bringing up Lori Harvey's name too. Remember when she was tied to all them celebs, showing off that white nail polish? Some say it's a coded symbol in those freak-off circles. It all sounds wild, but when the streets start connecting dots, it gets messy quick. Next on the radar, Meek Mill. Now, Meek's always been real vocal on Twitter, but right when Diddy got exposed, he started tweeting cryptic stuff about loyalty and being done with certain people. Some say that was just Meek being Meek. Others say it was a panic move, because word is there might be footage out there from back in the day when Diddy used to throw them infamous parties. People online are already digging, trying to see if Meek was just partying or if he caught up in something deeper. And then there's Usher. This one hit folks different. Usher always had that squeaky clean image, right? But go back a little, and you'll see some stuff that don't sit right. Like that time Diddy said he and Usher used to wrestle over the Frosted Flakes in the morning at age 13. Yeah, Usher was just a kid, and folks say Diddy had him at this so-called flavor camp. Why a grown man hosting camps for teen boys and putting them in his mansion? It's creepy, straight up. And old interviews? They got clips of Usher trying to brush it off, laughing awkwardly, but fans ain't laughing no more. The more you look, the more it seems like Diddy been moving like a mafia boss. Parties, business deals, favors, threats. If he's really going down, you better believe he not taking that fall alone. That's why Rogan said, if he starts naming names, the industry's done. Because everybody got skeletons. And Diddy, he got the keys to a whole lot of closets. And it ain't just music, folks. It's the crossover stars that got people nervous. Because Diddy had reach into TiVo, fashion, film, you name it. And Hollywood been real quiet since the raid. No one defending him, no one speaking up. That's silence, that's fear. And Joe Rogan caught that energy. He said what folks was already thinking, that this ain't about taking down one man. It's about unraveling a whole ecosystem built on secrets, shame, and straight-up manipulation. This is bigger than some freaky parties or side gossip. This is about power, protection, and control. Diddy knew how to move rooms, knew how to make people feel safe or scared. And now that the wall's closing in, all them alliances, all them NDAs, they might not hold. If Rogan's right, this ain't just a scandal, it's a reckoning.
You have no choice. Harvey Weinstein, Jeffrey Epstein, Robert Kelly, Sean Combs have one person in common, professionally and privately. Sean Carter. I think he's one of the most dangerous people I've ever met. A lot of people have been questioning, well, she doesn't really know him. She has no knowledge of him. She doesn't have a picture with him. I'm smarter than Claudia Jordan. I would never take a picture with the devil. Everyone knew he was the devil. He's been the devil.
Let's keep it rolling, because if Joe Rogan's prediction plays out, we might be watching the biggest fall in celebrity history. See, Diddy ain't just some rapper or record exec. He was the guy everybody wanted to be around. From A-list actors to Grammy winners, they all passed through his circle at some point. And now that Homeland Security got involved, folks are digging through old videos, party invites, even magazine covers, trying to figure out who knew what and when. Let's talk about Jay-Z. Yeah, Hov, billionaire businessman, Beyonce's other half. He's always kept his hands clean in public. But his name been whispered in these conversations for years. It ain't new. Back in the day, there was talk about a woman named Kathy White, who was allegedly close to Jay before she died under mysterious circumstances. Conspiracy theories been floating around that her death might have been tied to what she knew, especially about Jay's connection to Diddy's party scene. And Jaguar Wright, she came out wildin', saying Jay got bodies that never got exposed. Now she's not always seen as reliable, but the timing got people listening. If Diddy starts talking names, Jay might not be as untouchable as we think. Another one folks eyeing sideways is LeBron James. Crazy, right? We're talking about a global icon, a family man, king of the court, but Diddy and LeBron been seen together a lot over the years. There's pics, events, and connections, especially through business and branding. And now folks digging into clips where Diddy was making weird comments about hanging with NBA players. Ain't no proof LeBron's deep in it, but the streets got a theory. Anyone who was too close for too long might have seen something. And in this game, sometimes witnessing too much is just as dangerous as participating. And what about Jennifer Lopez? Her history with Diddy goes way back. Real talk, he helped launch her into the spotlight. They were that flashy couple in the late 90s, always in the headlines. But remember that club shooting case in 1999? Diddy and J-Lo got arrested together. She walked free, and he beat the case too. But folks always said somebody took the fall. Now, in the wake of all these new lawsuits, people are wondering if that whole situation was just the tip of the iceberg. Could there have been a deeper arrangement behind the scenes? Did she know more than she let on? Then you got Rick Ross. This one don't even need a deep dive. Ross was tight with Diddy. All them luxury videos, champagne bottles, poolside shots. It was all one big brand image. And now, Ross been real quiet, almost like he trying to stay out of sight. Same with Ellen DeGeneres. Yep, random, right? But there's pics and footage of her hanging with Diddy too, parties, red carpets, award shows. And now fans online are digging into her past scandals, questioning how deep those industry ties really went. This ain't just about freak-off rumors anymore. It's about how power moves through people and who gets protected when things go sideways. We also got to talk about Ashton Kutcher and Justin Bieber, two big names who came up in the spotlight young, both tied to major Hollywood and music circles. Diddy once called Justin his boy, and old clips of them together got fans straight up uncomfortable. There's footage of Diddy saying he gave Bieber a Lamborghini at 16 and had him sleeping over. Now that stuff seemed like flexing back then, but in today's lens, that don't look right. Ashton too, he's been vocal about taking down predators in Hollywood, but some think that might have been a PR move to distract from who he kept close.
My brother right here from day one, we used to wake up and I mean, damn, pause, but like, check this out. I mean, back in the days when he was like 10 and I was a little bit older, his older brother.
The real problem is this. Diddy didn't just party with these people, he brought them into his orbit. And if even a few of those parties were half as wild as insiders suggest, there's no way all these celebs walked in and out without knowing what time it was. Even if they didn't participate, they saw, they knew. And if Rogan's right, if Diddy gets pressured into flipping to save himself, those names might get dropped fast. Joe Rogan wasn't just speculating for views. He's been watching Hollywood long enough to know how this goes. When one powerful person falls, the web starts unraveling. People start talking, deals get exposed, hidden relationships come to light. And with federal agents involved, this ain't no blog rumor. This is a full-blown investigation. And Diddy, he's sitting at the center of it, knowing that his silence protects a lot of people who probably stopped returning his calls the moment them Blue Jackets knocked on his door.
If you don't mind me asking, because I know the topic is sensitive, what happened to Usher?
I heard about some music executive from the industry back in Harlem. You know, I heard it from some music executives back in Harlem. And I'm not gonna speak on their name. They doing programs and everything like that, and they may be doing something, they may speak on it themselves. But I heard it from some music executives.
Where did you hear it?
Bro, you know how people be talking and we was around some people, something like that, and then some people might say, yo, I don't F with that dude. And at the time, I didn't even know who the F Usher was. You know what I'm saying? It was one of those type of situations. And when somebody say, yo, man, I don't F with this, man, I'm getting out that industry and everything like that. You know, Puff sent this little kid to the hospital. How he sent him to the hospital? Man, bleeding from the butt. And that's what was said. But I didn't even have a name for the kid at the time. Then you heard, and that's what happened. So, and just to hear this, and this new thing where they saying that they got kids coming forward and said that he did that, man, that shit is crazy. And like I just said, you know, that's just something that I heard.
Now here's where it gets even wilder, because it ain't just about famous faces taking pictures at parties. It's about who stayed silent, who protected who, and who was really moving behind the scenes. Joe Rogan brought that up too. He said when the feds get involved at this level, it means they got something serious. Not just a rumor, not just a civil case, but real evidence. And if that evidence points to other people, it's curtains. Rogan didn't name names, but the streets did. One person who's been catching heat lately is Beyonce. Now, nobody trying to come at Queen Bee reckless, but her name got tossed around because of her long history with Jay-Z and Jay's ties to Diddy. For years, the power couple's been in rooms with Diddy, business events, Rock Nation brunches, all of that. Now, people ain't saying Beyonce did something, but if Jay get caught in some wild mess, folks wondering how much she knew and how long she been playing it quiet. That's what this whole scandal is doing. It's making people question everything they thought was clean. And let's talk Kanye West, Michelle. Even he called Diddy out in 2022, saying Diddy was part of the establishment, calling him a puppet for the elites. At the time, folks thought Kanye was just tweaking. But now, some of them rants hitting different. Kanye said there were Hollywood parties that looked normal on the outside, but were full of sick, secret behavior behind closed doors. And he specifically hinted at certain music execs throwing wild, uncomfortable events. Sound familiar? Diddy might have been the exact kind of person you was talking about. And now that the smoke is real, people are connecting dots you drew years ago. Then there's the white nail polish theory that went viral again after all this Diddy drama. Now it sounds silly at first, but this thing's been floating in conspiracy circles for years. It suggests that certain celebs, especially women tied to elite figures, wear white nails as a signal. Supposedly a quiet nod to involvement or access to them to secret circles. Sounds like nonsense, right? Until people pulled up a flood of photos showing celebrities like Lori Harvey, Kim Kardashian, Megan Thee Stallion, Cardi B, even Kendall Jenner rocking white nails right before major media rollouts or bizarre viral moments. Some of them even had connections to Diddy or his alleged party crowd. Again, it's all unconfirmed, but when you add it to everything else going on, it's got people watching real close. And now the question is, what happens next? Because Diddy's legal team is fighting hard, but more lawsuits keep popping up. More names get mentioned, more stories resurface, even folks who've been quiet for years suddenly reappearing. Like Jaguar Wright, who've been on a mission to expose the industry. She claims Diddy had blackmail on half the people at his parties. She said he filmed people without their consent, used it as leverage, and that's how he stayed powerful. That's why no one called him out. If that's true, then we ain't even scratched the surface yet. We talking about a system built on secrets. And this ain't just about celebrities. It's about how Hollywood protects itself. Joe Rogan said something real. The industry is built on silence. You get invited to the party, you keep your mouth shut. You see something wild, you pretend it ain't happened. And if you do speak out, suddenly your career disappears. That's why nobody ever questioned Diddy's parties. Why nobody asked about Usher at Tro. Why Steve Harvey dipped out the country when things got hot. Everybody know the rules, but now the rules breaking. People also talking about the handlers, not the celebs, the people around them. The managers, assistants, stylists, and media reps who keep the image clean. Those are the ones who know everything. The ones who book the flights, schedule the interviews, and clean up the mess. If the feds start talking to them, man, it's over. These handlers have got receipts, emails, schedules, witness statements, and if even one of them flips to save themselves, it's a wrap for more than just Diddy. Joe Rogan ain't the type to panic, but he sounded serious when he said this Diddy situation might unlock a closet full of skeletons the industry hoped would never come out. This ain't just one man's legacy on the line. It's an entire ecosystem of fame, power, and exploitation. And now that spotlight's turning into a searchlight. If you ever stepped in them rooms, ever took that invitation, ever looked the other way, you might be next. Now let's bring it all together, because if Joe Rogan's instincts are on point, this Diddy scandal might not stop at music or Hollywood. We're talking about a situation so wide and so dirty that even the biggest names in sports, tech, and politics might get touched. It's that deep. People thought it was just about Cassie's lawsuit. Then Homeland Security pulled up with federal search warrants. Now Rogan's saying flat out, this might be the blueprint for how the entire game gets exposed. And look around, you already feel the silence. Where's the outrage from Diddy's peers? Where's the public defense from the usual industry voices? Ain't nobody saying a word. That's silence. That's not ignorance. That's protection mode. People scrubbing photos, deleting tweets, telling their teams to clean house. It's a digital purge right now. Everybody who ever partied with Diddy is backpedaling, unfollowing, going ghost. That energy tells you everything you need to know. They scared. Rogan said it himself, Diddy's too powerful to fall quietly. He knows too much. If the government got dirt on him and he thinks he's facing serious time, he'll start talking. They always do. When the feds come knocking, it ain't just about your money. It's about who you know, what you've seen, and what you can offer in exchange for mercy. And with the kind of circles Diddy moved in, that info could shake the entire foundation. Look at the signs. Every time somebody powerful starts slipping, there's always a moment when folks try to distance themselves. But this time, the pullback is global. Rappers, actors, comedians, influencers, even executives are keeping their mouths shut. And the blogs, carefully choosing their words. Why? Because this ain't just messy, it's dangerous. This is the kind of mess where people start disappearing from headlines. The kind of mess where lawsuits turn into sealed indictments. It's hush-hush for a reason. The streets are asking who else was in them rooms. We already seen how long these allegations were floating in the background. The whispers, the side eyes, the everybody knows but no one says nothing type vibes. Now that Rogan's bringing it front and center, it's harder for folks to keep acting like they ain't heard nothing. People are watching videos different now, seeing red carpet clips and thinking, wait, why was that person there? Context done changed. And once people get new eyes, they don't unsee. And this might not even be the end. Word is Diddy's legal trouble could open up even more boxes. Folks mentioning old deaths, unsolved cases, NDAs stacking up like a filing cabinet. Rumors about secret footage, private flights, shady favors. The kind of dirt that ends careers. And let's not forget the industry's favorite weapon, the controlled leak. You know the PR machine's already on standby, ready to sacrifice a few smaller names to protect the big ones. It's chess now. Who's the pawn? Who's the king? Joe Rogan's platform is huge, and for him to say this ain't just celebrity mess, but a system on the edge of collapse, that's a red flag. He's not in it for clicks. He's watching the patterns. The way Epstein exposed a piece of the elite before it got shut down. The way Weinstein's fall opened the floodgates. Now Diddy's name is starting to sound real similar. Another titan with too many connections, too many secrets, and too many people trying to act like they ain't seen nothing. And the biggest takeaway? The people are watching closer than ever. The fans, the bloggers, the old insiders who've been quiet for decades. The culture ain't dumb. We know what it means when silence shows up louder than the noise. We know what it means when someone as untouchable as Diddy starts sweating. If he talks, the people he'll name ain't ready. If he stays silent, the heat still rises. Either way, the game done changed. So now we wait. Wait to see which lawsuits get upgraded. Wait to see which celebrities disappear from the spotlight. Wait to see who drops a random apology, who sells off assets, who suddenly gets real spiritual in interviews. Because if Joe Rogan's prediction is right, this ain't about Diddy taking the fall. It's about Diddy taking the whole industry down with him. And when that kind of bomb drops, ain't no coming back.